Okay, so the final bit to this is to actually take this leg off here. So I'm just going to take it out. I don't know how flush you have to make it. Let's take as much of it off as possible. I think I've done now. Yep. Not much more I can take out of that. So that's that one. Let's put the shielding back in again. I have no idea which way the shielding went, but let's assume that it goes in like this. Seems about right. Yep. So now what we need to do is fit the flex cable on the actual PCB itself, I think. The next thing here. So let's flip this over, pull these little levers out. Seem to imply go like this. That's it. And they will grab, hopefully. There we go, it's grabbed. That's grabbed it on. So one of these wires have actually dropped down into the board below, but I'm hoping that they will have sucked themselves down to some degree, and we'll find out shortly. So here we go with the board on top. There's the board on top. So we now need to replace the screws that I removed earlier, and if you remember, they had little arrows on them, so let's just put these ones back. So we had one here. Actually, these were around the base, weren't they? Yeah, so these are the ones at the top, and then these are the ones. There's definitely one there, and definitely one there. I don't think there were any others, were there? Just those two? Is that right? Possibly. Looks to be the case. We'll find out shortly. Let's pop you in. port. So we did that. We did actually that. And we'll put these over the top. There we go. God, if this works, I will be amazed. And then they suggested to put the rubber feet on, I think, from the drive. So take the rubber feet off. Maybe put them there, and there, don't know. Possibly. Yep. So that, I think, is that fitted in. Well, that's one fitted, assuming that I've got all the soldering done properly, which, looking at those wires, I'm still a little bit dubious that I did, but there we go. What I will do is I will plug it in and fire it up and see what happens. So we're now at the final stages of installing the Xstation. Cable's now in place. That is a push connection, so slide it backwards, push it in. To finish it off and make it look as finished as possible, I've done some 3D printing on my Anycube Cobra 2, and this is like the little base plate, so this will carry the posts, so it's just the right height, and then that just slots on top. Now, I printed several of these. This was my first print, this is my second print, and this is my third print. Interestingly, when I was putting these down on the bed, these were the base and these were the top, so it has a very nice finish. Obviously finishes it off nicely. But for some reason I get this sort of adhering layer. I don't know if that's the right way of describing it, and I've not figured out yet on how to remove out in the Anycube. Again, that was the first print of this, similar type of setup. This was the secondary print of it, so again, fairly okay, and I collared it in, and then this is the final one, which is what I'm going to try and install in this one. So hopefully this will just slide in to these particular holes here correctly. Looks like it's going to fit. So that's the 3D printed top covers on that. There's my little SD card, so in theory I can just put my little SD card in here, slide it in, and there's the little SD card in place. So there's the cover printed. Let me put the case over the top. So that's quite a nice fitment over it. Definitely a nicer print than the other two. So having this the top layer and those the bottom layer, even though they were a little bit more fiddly to clean things out, that all looks pretty good. And what we can have a look at now is if I plug it into the TV, we'll have a look at how it all comes together. But yeah, 3D printed. I think I just went on one of the websites that has many of these maker type of examples which you could download, downloaded it and printed it. Say I'm still learning my 3D printer, so forgive not knowing exactly how to do this as well as I should be. So here's the PS1. Everything is set up. Let's turn it on. Power is up. So there you go. You can see the range of items I've loaded up there. So let me just put in one which is probably familiar for a lot of people. Anyway, let's press the start button.